Have you ever lost someone to life's final goodbye and felt like the world just kept moving while yours stood still? You go back to your normal routine, but inside, something feels permanently quiet. Days pass, you get out of the bed, you even laugh sometimes, but there is this ache, this silent heaviness of loving someone who's no longer with you. When someone leaves this world, they don't just disappear from your life, they leave behind a thousand little memories that whisper their name, and you are left figuring out how to live with that kind of emptiness. Their laughter, their scent, their smallest habits, their belongings, they stay with you. And in the quiet moments, that absence grows louder. And then comes the guilt, often unspoken. You smile, and a voice inside whispers, how can I smile without them? You laugh and wonder, am I moving on too fast? But is it really about moving on, or about learning to carry this love differently? Even in the Mahabharata, this very pain was addressed, not in the heat of battle, but before it even began. When Arjun stood on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he was overcome not by fear of death, but by the sorrow of losing those he loved. He saw his family, his teachers, his siblings, and his heart was torn. He put down his bow, unable to fight, and it was then that Krishna spoke to him about life, about death, about the soul. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, Shlok 20, Krishna says, ये आत्मा न कभी जन्म लेती है न कभी मरती है, ये न तो कभी उत्पन्न हुई है न उत्पन्न होगी, ये अजन्मा है, नित्य है, शाश्वत है, पुरातन है। जब शरीर नष्ट होता है तब आत्मा नष्ट नहीं होती। The soul is never born and never really dies. It is eternal, indestructible, and unchanging. He goes on to explain, just as the embodied soul passes through childhood, youth, and old age, so does it pass into another body after death. And a wise person is not confused by these changes. Just as a person casts away worn out clothes and puts on new ones, the soul casts off its worn out body and enters a new one. The soul cannot be cut by weapons, nor burnt by fire. Water cannot wet it, nor can the wind dry it. It is eternal, all pervasive, stable, immovable, and everlasting. And finally, he says, death is inevitable for the living, birth is inevitable for the dead. Therefore, you should not grieve for that which is unavoidable. What does this mean for you sitting here holding the weight of absence? It means the one you love is not lost. They have simply changed their form. The soul that once looked into your eyes still exists, beyond this world, beyond what your senses can touch. And sometimes, if your heart is still, you may sense their presence in a familiar place, in the sunlight through the window, in a dream that feels too real, in the way your love still moves through this world. The pain may never fully go away, but understanding what Krishna says about the nature of the soul can help us see things differently. Not to remove the ache, but to give it a wider space to breathe. Krishna's words don't ask us to forget, they invite us to understand. And if you ever feel guilty for moments of joy, remember that joy does not erase love. Smiling again does not mean you've forgotten. It means you are honoring the life that was once shared, carrying their essence forward in how you live. That too is a form of devotion. And even with this understanding, sometimes the pain can feel too much to carry alone. If it ever does, there is no shame in asking for help, in reaching out to a friend, to a loved one, and even to a therapist. Grief is not a test you have to pass alone. Seeking support is a way of honoring both yourself and the love you carry. The ache of losing someone may remain, not as a wound, but as a part of your heart's landscape. And that's okay, because the weight you carry today is a proof that you had something worth missing. Not everyone gets that, and in that strange, sacred way, it is a blessing too.